Evil Dead Rise rewrites the story of the Deadites with a shocking, bloody ending that also shows how the movie's emotional themes have been developed. Warning, contains spoilers for Evil Dead Rise. The ending of Evil Dead Rise is a great new take on the bloody violence that the series is known for, but the last scenes of the Evil Dead reboot are full of emotional undertones that make the supernatural horror movie into a look at being a parent. Evil Dead Rise takes place mostly in one night. It moves the series away from cabins in the woods and into an old apartment block in Los Angeles. The story starts with Beth and Ellie, two sisters who haven't seen each other in a long time, running into each other. Their reunion is cut short by the Evil Dead's famous Necronomicon, also known as the Book of the Dead. The curses in the book open a Pandora's box of demon possession that puts the family of the main characters in danger. Even though the 2013 remake of Sam Raimi's original The Evil Dead also got good reviews, Evil Dead Rise gave the series a new lease on life with its new claustrophobic settings and characters who are torn between right and wrong. Evil Dead Rise was praised not only for its shockingly violent scenes and creative jump scares, but also for the writing and directing by Lee Corin and the acting by Lily Sullivan and Alyssa Sutherland. The Evil Dead, which came out in 1981 and is mostly thought of as a cult classic, also had some problems, like how it treated the female characters. Evil Dead Rise, on the other hand, has enough Easter eggs and hidden details to pay tribute to the first films while also putting the focus on stronger female leads. What happened at the end of Evil Dead Rise? Since Ellie became a Deadite, her apartment block has been in chaos, and the Necronomicon says that many more Deadites are coming. This includes the hybrid form against which Beth fights at the end of Evil Dead Rise. Ellie, her children Danny and Bridget, and her neighbors Gabriel and Mr. Fonda are all being turned into a single Deadite. Beth must save Ellie's youngest and only living child, Kassie, from the monster's many arms. Beth forces the Deadite into a wood chipper with a chainsaw, just like Ash Williams did in the first Evil Dead movie. Even when it looks like the Deadite is dead, Ellie's head still rolls out. As a habit, Ellie's head, which is controlled by the Deadite, tries to take advantage of other people's fears and bring them down. Ellie's head still tries to tap into Beth's professional and personal worries. But this time, Beth calms down and realizes that her sister is dead. She finally puts the head back on the chipper by kicking it. But things aren't fine, and as the story moves forward to the next day, it becomes clear that the Deadites have taken over another person who lives in the building. Her name is Jessica. This ties back to the shocking beginning of Evil Dead Rise, when Jessica is possessed and kills her sister and boyfriend in a brutal way. Only Beth and Kassie made it out alive. Even though Danny and Bridget did everything they could, only Ellie's daughter Kassie and her Aunt Beth made it through the end of Evil Dead Rise. Beth and Kassie escaped their floor through a blood-filled lift, which is a callback to the movie The Shining. Even though there is blood everywhere, the aunt and niece get out of the lift and walk to the parking lot. Sad to say, the last Deadite kidnaps the innocent and quick Kassie and tries to kill her with a chainsaw. Because Beth kills the Deadite with a chainsaw, she is able to stay alive. Even though Beth was just introduced as an ordinary guitar technician, the unpredictable turn of events after Ellie's possession put her survival skills to the test. Beth showed that she is a strong enemy of the Deadites by using anything she could get her hands on, from scissors to a chainsaw. Kassie may have been caught in the end, but she had already shown she could be violent, like when she stabbed a possessed Bridget with a spear. The ultimate survival also required mental strength, since Ellie was always putting Beth down, and Kassie thought her mother was still alive when she wasn't. Beth gets over her worries about becoming a parent by beating the Deadite. The Evil Dead Rise ends perfectly as a story about being a parent. In the beginning of the horror, Ellie is shown to be the mother of 3 kids. Even though she has trouble making money as a tattoo artist, she does her best to provide for her family. Beth, on the other hand, just found out she's pregnant and wants to talk to Ellie about what it will be like to be a mom. With her job being unstable and her past hurts, it's clear that Beth is afraid of becoming a parent. But since Ellie became a Deadite, Beth has shown that she can be a loyal and caring guardian just like her older sister. Even though Danny and Bridget died, Beth did everything she could to save them from the Deadites in Ellie's building. When the last Deadite tried to kill Kassie, she could have also safely run away. Even the fact that Beth was brave enough to fight the scary thing shows that she is a good parent figure. Even before the final battle, she did everything she could to keep Kassie safe. She did this because Kassie was the youngest of the family. When Kassie says that Beth would make a good mother, the story comes full circle. The woman who was afraid of becoming a mom just got reassurance from her own niece. Evil Dead Rise's ending sets up more sequels. As the Deadites are still out in the open, the ending of Evil Dead Rise leaves the door open for many more sequels and spin-offs. The Necronomicon keeps causing trouble as it moves from Ellie's apartment block to Jessica's cabin in the woods. In this way, the Deadites are like a zombie virus that has spread and needs to be stopped in the next films. Since Bruce Campbell's voice was heard in the background of Evil Dead Rise, it's possible that he could come back as Ash in any sequels. Because Beth's bloody face and skill with a chainsaw are similar to Ash's, it is also possible that she will lead the franchise and become as well known as Ash. Evil Dead Rise was was just as scary and violent as the first Evil Dead movies, so genre fans loved it as soon as it came out in theaters. Evil Dead Rise was a financial success for both New Line Cinema and Warner Bros. Pictures. It can start its own horror universe, similar to what they did with the Conjuring universe. Based on the stories about the books that came before it, it is also likely that there are many other copies of the Necronomicon all over the world. If more of these books are found, the sequels will follow up on Jessica's Possession, which ended Evil Dead Rise, with bigger stakes.